If you've been in the sales industry in lab for the last 10 years and you haven't had your comp plan changed, you're a unicorn. Pat yourself on the back. You've been with a great laboratory. Please write me directly. Let me know who the hell they are. It's something that affects everyone. So look, you know, in every industry, there's good guys and bad guys, right? So I'm gonna focus on the good guys of the lab industry. You could be a great human being. You can have awesome intentions. You could work hard. You can be smart and bring a great team together and still have pieces that are missing. They don't have a brand that is going to provide, you know, social proof or be trustworthy or seen as trustworthy. They could have a credentialing department and a billing department that is behind on billing and is not collecting on the work that's actually coming in the door. And so we aren't looking for an order taker relationship when we work with our laboratories, because ultimately we're guaranteeing the performance of the sales rep. The best way that we can align our values and our vision with our clients is to guarantee results, right? So when we place a sales rep with a laboratory client, we are guaranteeing that they are going to perform. Because there's going to be these sticking points and people are going to be holding on to the problems because that's what they do. And we have a shared risk model in that where we don't receive our final payment unless they perform. So you better believe for the first 60 days, we're going to be meeting with that sales rep, making sure that they're calling on their clients, they're closing, their workflows are streamlined, and any kind of obstacles that exist in their world, we're going to be giving it back to you. It's like, you need to have this, and there's so many other things that you don't know you need to have. So now you have a pipeline of what's missing inside of your offering, so that way everybody else gets better as well. It's like the best of both worlds. We become your inside man, and we're also guaranteeing the success. And if we don't deliver, we don't get paid.
90% of doctors now are looking for somebody to ask them actually what they want rather than being told what they need to have. The agenda's pre-written. Rep walks in, you're gonna tell me what I need and how I'm gonna do it. Doctor says yes or no. There's no alignment, there's no...
It's our guarantee. It's the best guarantee in the market, and it's a different way to be able to do recruiting, because we're not just doing recruiting, we're doing development. Labs that are like, yeah, I'd like for you to come and kick the tires over here so that way you can recommend sales reps come here. Step one on almost every relationship is an evaluation of the brand. Because we're not going to recommend a laboratory unless we do a visit and we know that they're good people. And if we're lacking in brand or we're lacking in that marketing presence there, we really want to address that first. And so it's something that we had to offer. So we went and we searched for some of the best marketing partners and marketing minds in the industry, so that way we can plug them into the process. Why is it important right now to be able to tell a behind the scenes story and make it authentic?
Oh, I think that's kind of what's needed in, especially doing these type of what we call TED Talk meets Netflix documentaries, right? This kind of collision, as it were, of, you know, summarizing in 15, 20 minutes not only your life story, but your life's mission and your life's work. They don't care, you know, what you do. They care more about why you do what you're doing.
So by helping with the branding and the storytelling of the laboratory, that directly impacts the sales efforts in the field. And think about the behind the scenes documentaries that we have done. They're literally know, like, and trust. We want you to get to know us. We want you to like us. And we want you to trust us. And we do that by telling you the truth at a very vulnerable level. If laboratories are willing to take that leap with their clients, where they own the part of that process of telling the truth through a storytelling measure, their results are gonna go straight through the roof. Developing diamonds. So like, you know, we were gonna find rock stars, we're gonna develop diamonds. So we become a de facto chief commercial officer. We become a de facto chief marketing or chief sales officer. So if I'm sitting in the seat of a CEO or chief sales officer and I've got to go out and interview and hire salespeople, the way the game is played now is, well, you look at resumes, you interview 2-3 times, and you make an offer. And so for me, it's like Tinder. It's like a dating app. I get to meet somebody 1 or 2 times, and then I'm immediately in some type of financial relationship with them. Like, I'm married. It's an arranged marriage. And that doesn't work. So what we need sales reps to be able to choose you and evaluate you. I got this inspiration from my own adoptions. My wife and I have adopted both of our children. So with Violet, when we were going through the adoption process and we were laying out our video, our marketing pitch deck, our book, what we had to do to be able to put it all together, it was very much about making sure that a birth mom picked a birth parent that aligned with what she wanted for her child. And so Jenny and I really, we went to war over what was in this book. Like, we really wanted to make sure that it was right. I'll never forget, I got a call from the agency. I was in Chicago. I was on my last business trip for the lab before I sold it. And the adoption agency calls me and they say, Mr. Bork, you have an adoption opportunity. You have been selected because you're a Raging Cajuns fan, you're a Saints fan. And I was like, did you just say I was picked because I'm a Saints fan? And she said, oh yeah, one more rule. Her daughter can't grow up to be a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I was like, were you kidding me? Like, this is amazing. But we had put out exactly who we were, and the perfect birth mom picked us, right? And that is one of the most cherished relationships, and it goes beyond that. We have relationships with the grandparents. We have relationships with Violet's brother. They vacation with us. He stayed with us. We've gone to Disney.
Smile, Violet.
And so it's possible that if you just show up as yourself and you tell the truth and you basically let people choose to be with you, there's power in that agreement. And so we're not doing the Tinder dating app model at Core Academy. We're looking for meaningful long-term relationships, and that's how we get it done. So, in looking at success and what success looks like, I stumbled upon this viral TED Talk by a gentleman by the name of Bill Gross.
Execution definitely matters a lot. The idea matters a lot, but timing might matter even more.
And what they did was they looked at the success of 200 companies, and they had their own ideas of why companies are successful. Like, it's probably the business idea, it's the big idea, or it's the team, and then it's the execution. But when they got down to it and they looked at it, the number one reason for success here was actually timing.
And then, of course, the timing. Is the idea way too early and the world's not ready for it? Is it early, meaning you're in advance and you have to educate the world? Is it?
I think about the Genetic Testing Cooperative and what they're doing. I think about an amazing test that can literally change the way cancer is treated in every patient in the world. And the timing of that and the ability to be able to join that, right? I think about the biometric monitoring craze and now Apple Watches. I think about this innovation and this technology and this ability to be able to move people with data. That's where we are right now. That's what we're focused on.
AI will never replace a human. You still need pathologists, but is this going to make our pathologists more efficient? It's going to make the pathologist more accurate.
When we look at the most important components of success today in diagnostic lab, I can really boil it down to three main focuses. Number one is vision and values. Does that executive team have the vision to know where they're going and the values, the integrity to be able to get there the right way? Number two, sales and marketing. And I didn't say sales and sales. I didn't say cold call and cold call and cold call. Are they marketing the message? Are they actually marketing to their clients, and are they marketing to their employees? Are they reinforcing that sale? Because it's not the first time that a doctor's office signs paperwork that's the close. It's the 14th time that the sales rep visits them. That's what's important with sales and marketing. And then the operational excellence is number three. So when we say operational excellence, are they ready to scale? The workflow is the sale, right? So we have to realize as lab owners and as sales reps that the pain to change must be less than the pain to stay the same. And so when we're coming in and we're looking to implement our processes, those workflows have got to be simple, they've got to be easy, they've got to be repeatable. What we're doing with the Genomic Testing Cooperative, we start going to laboratories and we basically say, we have this one thing and we do this one thing really well, and this one thing really pays well, and this one thing. So when we're talking about team, I've got a world-class team at Core Academy to help execute on our vision. I've got a gentleman by the name of Doug Menifee.
Well, if he could come on board somehow, either partnership, employee,
Doug was a CIO of one of the largest physician groups in the country. He took them from 100 million to almost $1 billion with that IT infrastructure that he was supporting. And before that, he actually exited a software company for 8 figures on his own. And so Doug's been there, he's done that. And when he's looking at how do we support these laboratories, he's focused on how do I empower them with technology and innovation? How do we make their lives simpler and easier?
Like, that's the badass part about what you're bringing to us right now, is you got the best marketing CRM that we can find, HubSpot. You've got Salesforce, that's the actual,
So that's why I'm trying to take it out of the technical conversation into this slide where I talk about it in that perspective right here.
How do we allow them to be able to really decentralize the laboratory so that way they compete against the Quests and the LabCorps and these big box labs? That's what we're bringing to labs, and Doug is key to that vision.
So this is your 360-degree view for a lab that is a very expensive system that you have your Quest and your LabCorp that's spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on, that we're spending lots of money on putting together for a small independent lab.
So the fact that you're going to be able to offer a lab the opportunity to be able to come into something that has been built specifically for lab and they can license it.
That's correct.
What's cool about the group of guys that we have right now is we really have blended well, and that takes work. You know, like, you've got to invest love into a relationship in order for you to be able to get love back. And we're meeting people where they are, and the best way I know how to do that, honestly, is for me to cook for everybody. Either we are willing to spend $2,200 to train and put them up, as part of their week-long training event. I love cooking. It doesn't matter if it's a gumbo, it doesn't matter if it's barbecue, wherever we're at. I want to serve my team, and I want to participate in that, very basic, human thing, which is, breaking bread and sharing stories and swapping stories. And that's something that's very important to our culture. And
going off what we were saying, though,
it allows us to be able to get out of the work mode and just really get to know people, because I want to know the drivers. I want to know why they want to be great.
we were doing it for like 20 minutes. Yeah, you would have loved that.
And so it's really important that we get to that level with our clients. And it's important that they see that in real life, so that way they know how to mimic it, and then they can do it with their employees in their own way.
It's hard living on the road, especially whenever you're doing medical sales and you're a sales leader. You get to a market and you have to establish a market, and you're living out of a Holiday Inn or you're living out of a Best Western. Your habits just go to shit. You're not eating the way you're supposed to. You're not working out the way you're supposed to. This is like bringing home with me, and I'm able to keep some type of a routine.
So we come to Joe Carter. Joe's my business partner inside of the Core Academy. He also owns our recruiting efforts. So Joe's interviewing hundreds of sales reps every single month. And he's coming back and he's taking the assessments, and as we're bringing people through them, we have a real-time pulse on what's going on in the industry.
When it comes to laboratory sales, we're having people, and we see it on a daily basis, where they're used to that 6-figure job all the way up to 7 figures plus that they're going to expect to make.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, brother? How we doing today?
It's so quick to say, I have this, I can bring this to a company, this company wants me to work for them. So when we switch that around to looking at the individual's assessment, looking at their individual's goals, and being able to match that with the same culture and the same experience of a laboratory that we're going to be presenting them to, that's what makes it different. I can read resumes all day, and everybody looks phenomenal on a resume. Nobody's going to submit a resume that makes them look bad. So it's the same concept when we're going into these laboratories, and when we're on site, we're able to get the truth. And it's not about how much business you can bring, because ultimately that business is going to go if you're not happy. Or how we can train this person to become the best sales rep out there, but if they don't work well under certain conditions, it's never going to be a match. So we need to understand who these individuals are that are applying, what makes them wake up in the morning and really want to pursue that day at the utmost, excitement, and really match that to exactly the facility, the exact leadership team, the style of which they want to be operating on a daily basis.
And we wear our core values on the back of our shirt: science, compliance, sales marketing, and self-mastery. When we're talking about compliance, there are 4 or 5 different key components to it, whether it's billing or it's in the laboratory or it's on the sales front, right? But if I'm going over and talking about ECRA, about anti-kickback, sunshine laws, safe harbors for 1099 or W-2s, and that's all foreign language to you, we pause the conversation about everything else. You need to go to the OIG.gov, or we need to get you training so that way you understand the risk by violating one of these regulations. Posture back up with your hands to the sky. We're gonna take our beach ball. Similar thing. Get your legs spread now to the left. Stretch out that rib cage. Good. What's unique about our process at CORE is there's no place in the industry that you can get this complete a sales training experience, right? We're not only teaching you the science and the compliance and the sales and the marketing, but we're also working on mindset and we're working on self-mastery. Breathe in and out. 5 more seconds. That's self-mastery. Being able to control your arousal, connect with your breath. These are things we learned from Wake Up Warrior and from the Navy SEALs at Unbeatable Mind. Breathe in. These are things that some of the best leadership coaches in the country have taught me, and then I get to share with our students. Go back like you're doing a sit-up. Just lean back, just gently. Don't stop about right here, okay? It's literally the key to our success. It's the secret sauce to any successful business, is having the executive team be able to teach and lead self-mastery. Phil!
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Oh, I miss you, dude. How you been?
Doing good, dude. How's it going up there?
How was vacation? And then, we got Philip, who is a literal English professor. Where do you see us going next with this? Because I like the philosophical series that we're doing and bringing it back to lab sales. A professor of philosophy who I get to sit down every morning with and preparing our podcast, and as we're creating the materials and our training materials, everything is written, and we are constantly looking for ways that we can inculcate historical references, philosophical references. How do we make the idea sticky? So what I'm trying to do is bring this philosophy off of the page and figure out a way for them to be able to experience it.
I've taught both high school. I taught high school for 2 years, but I taught at the university level for 6 at a couple different institutions. And really, really bright students came up to me at the university level and they had maybe heard of Plato, but had never gotten a lesson in Plato in their entire life. And it struck me as totally insane.
People should know this, and I want to get down to the foundational aspects of this perennial philosophy, these things that have been around forever.
For the next 2 hours till dark, whatever we do, forget about this morning. It ain't gonna save you. There will be no pity parties. No one cares. We love you.
So the coolest thing that I get to do every year is we put on, 4 or 5 RISE events.
It's a good day. It's a great day to be great.
It's really where time and tension come to produce that pressure, allows any of the impurities that are inside of your soul, any of the things that are holding you back, any of the stories that are propped up by your ego.
They don't know what's coming next. So
once we get you on the beach or on the lake, those stories go away.
I think the way that people do HR, I think the way that people do corporate training is insanity. I literally think the way the companies are built today are absolutely insane.
COVID has caused this thing that happened amongst diagnostic lab sales reps. It's numbed us all. And there's this thing that needs to wake up inside of us. There's this thing that needs to rise up. you got to go back to a primal state, especially if you've been an athlete or you've been in the military. Like waking that aspect up inside of yourself.
This is effectively what we're calling the beatdown. What we're doing is we're challenging them and giving them some adversity. And
coming to a place where you can just lay it all on the line and reconnect with your purpose and your why and be able to figure out how you're actually going to live this life in a better way. So you can challenge yourself, so you can be disciplined, so you can wake up every morning, so you can work out, so you can meditate, so that way you can spend time with your family, spend time with your children, make money, live the life that you're supposed to have. That's what Rise is about.